Hey beer tubers, hope you enjoyed my best beers of 2011. I just wanted to do a shorter, recap of all 10 beers that I liked that I actually did video reviews. In this video, I'd like to go over the ones that didn't make the cut, but were still fantastic beers, plus some other standouts that I had either at bottle shares, events, beer festivals, and stuff, I had on draft otherwise. So, got a big list here, just like to go through them. So the stuff that didn't make the cut that I actually did reviews were kind of an order of reviewing Southern Tier Pumpkin. Fantastic pumpkin ale. I'm not a huge fan of pumpkin beers, but that's definitely one of the best ones, if not the best. Midnight Sun, I did review the 2010 edition of Treat early this year, whenever you're watching this, early in 2011, and it was phenomenal. Unfortunately, the 2011 version was not even close to as good. I also reviewed the Shoots Blackbeat 21, one of my favorite beers of all time. Fantastic. I guess I didn't put it on the list because the fact that it is the 21st anniversary, but that's a fantastic beer. It's kind of one of those I would have liked to included it, but kind of want a little more variety, I guess. Surly Abrasive, got a can of that, fresh from Chris. Actually, I don't think it was that fresh, maybe a month old. Love that double IPA from Surly. Pretty much spot on San Diego kind of West Coast style IPA. West Letter and 12, finally reviewed that. I'd had it prior to me reviewing it, so it wasn't, I guess, as special for a lot of you. First time you try it, you're reviewing it on camera, which is awesome. Fantastic beer, as you know. The Brewery's Black Tuesday. I opened up a bottle in 2010 that I reviewed, and that was really nice. I like the 2011 batch actually a little better. I don't know, it's somewhere between A plus type of beer for me. I did really, but the 2011 was much better, and I'm looking forward to getting some bottles of 2012. Another one of my favorites in terms of double IPAs, Avery the Maharaja. I think I probably gave that an A+. I don't know, maybe it's because I've had it enough that it didn't get included in my top 10, but it's definitely a favorite of mine. Odell's Mercenary was another fantastic double IPA that I got to try, thanks to Jameson. Worth checking that one out as well. Fantastic double IPA. I did a review of a bottle of Ballast Point's Sea Monster from 2009. Wow, put some age on that beer. Fantastic. Keep saying fantastic too much because they're all fantastic beers. So now you need to come up with something else. Very, very close to making the top 10 was the Brewery and Cigar City's collaboration, Marone Acidify. Sort of like an Imperial Flanders Flemish, red brown ale. I drank a lot of that, really enjoyed it. Really close to making the list for the top 10. Stone IRS, kind of same deal. It's one of my favorites. I look forward to it every year. I always go over to the brewery, try to get it upon release. Sometimes they have variations of it. Just a world-class Imperial Stout that probably doesn't get enough attention. I mean, because I did a vertical of Darkness, Surly's Darkness, from 2008 to 2011, and that beer gets a lot of publicity among beer geeks, and it's harder to find than Stone IRS, but I think Stone IRS is a better beer than that. Rodenbach Grand Cru, just a fantastic, widely available Flemish-style sour, really well done. The Brewery Saison Roux, that bottle I had was probably a year and a half old. They put Brett in that, so it really got some nice funky fruitiness to it. Awesome beer. AleSmith Summer Yulesmith, another one, just so close to making top 10. One of the best double IPAs on the planet. The Hand Brewery and their Hanbach was sort of their like Imperial Flemish sour style ale. Really enjoyed that one. Veritas 09 from Lost Abbey. Another really close one to make the top 10. Very unique beer. Really complex stuff. Not the most drinkable beer, but good stuff. And Founder's Backwards Bastard rounds out the stuff I reviewed. Put a really nicely done Scotch ale and some bourbon barrels. It's a winning combination. So some of the other stuff, big thanks to the guys Beer Geek Nation, for coming out. Chris, Daniel, Jameson. You know, we did these ball shares, had some fantastic beers. So the first one on my list of sort of non-reviewed beers was the Three Fontainen Scherer Beast Creek. One of the probably the best Creek I've ever had, and that includes the ones I've tried from Cantillon. Barrel Aged Speedway Stout. Finally got to try that. Absolutely phenomenal barrel aged beer. Like that one better for an imperial kind of coffee stout that's been barrel aged. I liked it better than Founders CBS and even KBS, and which was kind of my next thing I was going to do. I did get to try a ball share Founders CBS. I still have a ball from Daniel I got in trade. I'll review that one probably with some age on it eventually. The Kopi Luwak Speedway Stout is the special world's expensive coffee they used in that. That version of that beer is definitely different than the regular one, enough so that I really enjoyed it. Makes it certainly a definite difference in the beer. I mean, I got to try 4 different versions of Speedway Stout against the regular version, and there's definitely a difference between those two. Lost Abbey's Barrel Aged Serpent Stout on cocoa nibs and coffee, I believe, was what I had at the Strong Ale Festival. Arguably the best beer there, along with the next one on the list, which is the Brandy Barrel Vanilla Dark Lord, which that beer definitely does really well with some brandy barrel aging and some vanilla added to it for sure. Coronado's Stupid Stout, draft only one. That's the beer they put into their bourbon barrels, which turns out to be a phenomenal imperial stout. It's barrel aged. Firestone Walker's Goodfoot. It's one of the component beers from the Anniversary series. I believe that's the British style barley wine aged in barrels. Awesome stuff. Along with Firestone Walker's barrel aged Velvet Merkin. They actually do Merkin for the barrel aged version. Got to try that. That was awesome. One of the biggest surprises was a beer from New Belgium called Love that they brought to an event night in a whiskey barrel, like a little mini barrel, but it had been whiskey barrel aged with peaches, and it was sour, it was tart, it was unfiltered, unpasteurized. It was phenomenal. I really enjoyed that one. Another fantastic sour that I might get to reviewing in 2012 will be the brewery's Tart of Darkness. Probably the best dark sour out there in terms of like stouts, sour stouts. Great stuff. More kind of barrel-aged sourish kind of stuff. Green Flash Super Freak. I think they do a different version of La Freak. Age it in, I believe, some wine barrels, if I remember right. Real nice, funky, still hoppy beer. Their Green Flash's brandy barrel-aged barley wine was also phenomenal. Had that at the Silva Stout night. You saw a video, Daniel posted it. Lost Abbey did a beer for a local beer bar, Churchill's, called Churchill's Finest Hour. We did that both the nights we went there. Got a bottle of that beer to share amongst all of us. It's a great beer. Really drinking nice right now. Went to Alpine Night, had their Bad Boy Double IPA. Bad Boy Double IPA, if you can get it, is unfortunately draft only, but it's one of the best double IPAs on the planet, no question. It's phenomenal. Really nice surprise at Stone's Rare Beer Breakfast was the collaboration between Midnight Sun and Green Flash, their Green Devil, which was a wine barrel aged American style barley wine. It's still hoppy as hell. Had barrel character on it, everything fantastic. Also had at that same event breweries, and at their anniversary party as well, the brewery's Melange No. 1, which is a blend between Eau Tart, mostly Eau Tart and Black Tuesday. So that's good stuff. At the Real Ale Festival at Pizza Port, got to try, well before they even bottled it, Three Floyd's Zombie Dust on cask, extra dry hop with Citra. Phenomenal. Better than any of those bottles you people have been reviewing. So, there we go. Three Floyd's also had a keg of Hell's Black Intelligencer, which is, I think, a coffee stout they do. Or a coffee porter, can't quite remember. That was good stuff. Had that at Pizza Port. Couple events, mostly ones at Stone. Got to finally try some Cantillon beers, 2011. Cantillon Iris, still my favorite Cantillon. Super sour, unblended lambic, funky, complex, phenomenal. And the other one that I really liked of the Cantillons was the Rose de Gambrinus. Some kind of, it's a fruited lambic. I forget what the, I think it's maybe 2 fruits or 1 fruit. I can't quite remember. Really enjoyed that one. Like those more than the Zwanzi beers I got to try. Another really interesting surprise was the Stone 50th anniversary. Lost Abbey did a beer called the Vern, which was, I believe, bourbon or brand. I can't remember. It was like Angel Share. They added in black tea and peaches to it. And it was this weird, like, bourbony thing that went, like, tea-like, kind of like spice kind of thing, and then peachy. It was, like, it was really different. Did, like, 3 different turns in the palate that was really cool. Another beer that's always a favorite. It's probably going to always be on the list from Pizza Port, Carlsbad, their Poor Man's IPA. Another case of one of the best double IPAs on the planet. I got to try at the brewery's anniversary. A lot of their great beers are really hard to come by, like ISO FT, Bottleworks 12. A couple that stood out to me was Chocolate Rain, which is Black Tuesday aged on cocoa nibs. And maybe coffee. Can't quite remember if coffee's in there. Definitely cocoa nibs. Love that version of Black Tuesday. And the Wanderer, which they did for City Beer up in San Francisco, was a fantastic American wild ale. So that's kind of all the beers I had. Hopefully this doesn't go on too long for you guys. Looking forward to having more great beers in 2012. Cheers.